Hey everybody, welcome to Sherman Wealth Weekly Snaps. This is Friday, September 18th. For those of you who are celebrating happy, healthy, and sweet new year, what a week in the markets. The first 3 days really started out hot, and then Federal Reserve statement came out around 2 o'clock, and it really spooked the markets. We're seeing follow through from 2 p.m. on from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Change of some language, and instead of just saying keeping on the path that we're on, really kind of called out the government and the lack of the second stimulus, as we've been talking about for quite some time, which expired on July 31st. And the Federal Reserve is really saying without this, hard to see the economic recovery truly being the V-shaped recovery that the stock market was predicting and thinking about. So been an interesting few days. We'll see how that transpires next week. Some other big stories that we were following aside from the Fed, we had a massive IPO run in Snowflake and some of the other SaaS companies that have gone public. Extremely high valuations. Some are saying that this is very reminiscent to the end of the tech bubble in 1999 when everyone rushed to IPO. 2000. We'll see how that goes, and we'll be following that story for you. Something that's very interesting to us is as we're upgrading phones and iWatches and all become Apple ingrained in our fabric and ecosystem, as they really wanted us to. Big updates on the watch and other iPad Air, iPad Pro, nothing with the iPhone, which is maybe why we're seeing Apple take a little bit of a breather here this week. We also saw Amazon come out and get into the podcast game, as we know, and shout out to our new show, Launch Financial with Dan and Ashley. Podcasting is becoming bigger and bigger, so they want to really get into the world with Spotify, Apple, and some of the other folks that are big in the podcasting space. We also saw the Democrats float a $50,000 student loan forgiveness plan out there. We'll see if that has any legs. As we said before, hard to see, and the market is believing, hard to see any legislation being done before the election. As a reminder, for those with federal student loans, as part of Trump's executive order, he has deferred all payments till January 1. If you have private loans, would be a good time to evaluate what your interest rate is and see if there's an opportunity to refinance. We've been talking about refinancing a lot, and rates are going to stay low for a while. So reach out to a mortgage professional and see if you are eligible to refinance or if it would be a good idea for you to do so. Also want to discuss quickly, now that we're past tax season, September 15th, estimates, you have until October 15th if you are self-employed to fund your SEP and simple IRAs. So remember to do that, as well as we are starting to get into tax planning season, so want to be mindful for that as we get to the fourth quarter of the year. Want to talk just briefly about the importance of a diversified portfolio and why we discuss risk tolerance and why it's important. You've seen over the last few weeks tech really lead the markets down. If you were really heavy in individual stocks and didn't build a diversified portfolio or don't own a diversified portfolio, you're obviously suffering a little bit more over the past few weeks, which if you're okay with that, great. We think that you should align your portfolios with your risk level, and now is a good time as we see volatility come back ever since September 1, when everyone was on TikTok talking about investment advice. We see a big shift from there. We hope that you have a really great weekend and hope this was of value to you. If there's anything you want to know more about or we can help you with, shoot us a note, info@Sherman Wealth, or comment below. Take a look for our podcast, Launch Financial, which the first episode will be out next week. We'll put it in our weekly snaps then. Have a great week. Happy, healthy, everything. Talk to you soon.